So guys, welcome back to Lunatic Astrology. I'm your astrologer, Lori Lothian. I'm laughing because I'm trying to record a great video about the Leo full moon on January 28th, and there's construction in the building next door. And it's driving me insane. So if I seem like I'm going to lose my mind, it's just the noise. So let's go ahead and talk. First of all, you see my hair? It's very big, right? This is my Leo hair today. We're playing with the Leo theme. This is what happens when it just dries and I don't touch it up with a brush or anything, or to blow dry it. So big mane, big Leo energy, big full moon. And we're going to talk about all signs, which I always do. So stay tuned for that. There will be timestamps to see how this new moon, new beginning in Leo, co-joined lucky Jupiter at the time. The sun and Jupiter are co-joined opposite this moon, could bring some new luck, opportunity, goodness, hope, and optimism into your 30 days or so ahead after this moon. Now, also reminders that it's a new channel for me. I moved to the astrology theme only a year and a half ago. Like and subscribe and comment and help me grow. I would really appreciate it. If you look in my description box below, I'm always pitching right now my 2021 year ahead all signs bundle for only $39. You get every single sign. You can share it with friends and family. And each video of the 12, they're all 60 minutes long. You can also buy a la carte for $14.95, just your own sun sign, rising or ascendant. But of course, it's a better deal to get the bundle, if you ask me. Okay, enough pitching. Let's go to the moon. So, all full moons, you've got to tie them back to a new moon, right? They're always connected. New moon, full moon, new moon. They're cycles. And so if you go back to August 18th, 2020, there was a new moon in the sign of Leo. And depending where Leo falls in your chart, for me, it's in the 7th house of other clients, relationships, etc., long-term committed connections. There is something for me to ponder about how something going on mid-August to mid-September may play out again in my life. Something that was seeded then, that I planted seeds for in that new moon, may play out more profoundly in the full moon that is happening for us all on the 28th of January. And then giving us that full moon, essence of something coming to fruition, fruiting, fullness, climax energy that was planted 6 months earlier. So all full moons, you got to look at them in the context of the bigger cycle, not just the actual moment of the moon. And you can also look back to the new moon 2 weeks before the full moon and also see that there's a culminating energy from that as well. So look at the big picture with all of the full moon stories. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen with you in a minute to talk about what I'm seeing. I want to discuss the idea that when when this full moon happens, Jupiter is really, really close to the sun. And that is Jupiter coming into like such closeness to the sun that, or sun to Jupiter, actually the sun is moving toward Jupiter, that Jupiter is like invisible in the sky. And so invisible planets don't actually spread their goodness outward. It's not like you're necessarily going to get external Jupiter luck and juice blessings the way you would if Jupiter was visible in the sky. So yes, there's good luck with Jupiter, but he is not visible to the naked eye and he's under the beams of the sun. And actually he's so close to the sun on the day of this moon that he's sitting Jupiter at 9 degrees and 17 minutes of Aquarius, and the sun is sitting at 9 degrees and 5 minutes of Aquarius. That is a cazimi. Jupiter is in the heart of the sun. And he's coming out the other side from perfecting the cazimi, from being perfectly in the heart of the sun. Oh, let me double check that. Math? No, the sun's still moving towards perfecting the cazimi. So, there's this proximity of the sun to Jupiter that is about Jupiter being so close to the heart of the divine soul of all things, like in the lap of the king, in the throne room of the king, which is the sun, that Jupiter has a sense of being reborn and getting his marching orders from the sun. And I'm just going to tell you, actually, since we're already talking about the 28th of January's full moon blessings, let's talk about also when does that perfect the exact cazimi. Let me check. I'm going to tell you in a sec. Okay, 6 hours after the full moon. So it perfects 6 hours later. It's the same day on the 28th. So when I show you the chart, you'll see what I mean. But in Vancouver, Canada, the exact time of this full moon is going to be in Vancouver, Canada right now at 11:15 a.m. And then 6 hours later, Jupiter reaches, the sun reaches Jupiter in perfection. And then Jupiter is now completely in the beams of the sun, cazimi, in the heart of the sun. It's a very special day. I'd suggest for a lot of us, we can really count on this rebirth of Jupiter as he goes into the heart of the sun and out the other side. But in this case, by the sun, moving in proximity and then beyond Jupiter, that this invisible Jupiter, heart of the sun Jupiter, will dispense some new blessing for us all as he migrates through his, rebirth. And it's a rebirth where he doesn't come back out from underneath the visible beams of the sun, probably until mid-February. So invisible Jupiter is concocting goodness like Santa Claus with a secret plan to bring us something really good in that journey. Oh, and the lights in my house are flashing as the construction is ongoing. So I'm going to digress, okay, and talk about me. I lived in a place in Montreal, my apartment, where there was 6 months of overhead attic construction. Okay, crazy. And then I come to Vancouver to be house sit for and dog sit for a girlfriend who's in Hawaii for a month and a half. And I've been here since mid-December. And there's a kitchen reno in the unit below me. And there's a massive demolition and construction down the street. Can you guys hear that? And some days it's not as bad as today, but today I'm just about to pull my Leo hair out. Okay. Seriously, what is with my story? Is it mean I'm under construction? I am an Aquarius ascendant. So us Aquariuses are under renovation with that big Jupiter Saturn reboot that we had on December 21st. But nonetheless, this is getting a bit literal. All right. So let's go ahead and do the all signs. No, not do the all signs yet. Let me say some more general things about it. So give me a minute here. I'm going to share it with you. I feel like I'm going insane. All right. Okay, here we go. So here's the sky at the time of the moon, right? There they are. There's the sun, Jupiter, co-joined perfectly, almost perfectly. 6 hours later, it will be perfect. And, Jupiter in this case, of course, is going to be coming into like a rebirth. And so don't forget, until mid-February, you may not see some of the blessings that are percolating, okay, from this moon, because Jupiter is still going to be invisible. And he's been invisible already for 2 or 3 weeks as well, as he came into, maybe 2 weeks as the sun was getting closer to him and the sun will go to the other side of him. So this rebirth of Jupiter is important to understand as a process, not an event. It's not like the day of the cazimi, although you could, but very likely you won't see an outpictured stroke of luck that this moon is trying to bring. You'll probably see it picture closer out, maybe to, or the goodie basket of Santa Claus's gifts showing up closer to sometime in February. And February is its own kettle of fish with the assembly of planets in Aquarius. Holy moly. But we'll get to that for another video. What else did I want to say? So you can see here's the moon down here, anchoring that fullness, in Leo, co-joined with the goddess of healing and health and hygiene, Hygeia. She's emotional, mental, and physical well-being in my experience of clients' charts. And she is the daughter of Asclepius, the great healer. And there are altars all over the ancient world to her, the everyday's goddess, every person's goddess. You didn't have to pilgrimage to a special place. You could just throw your fruit and your offerings down on these little alcove altars and everyday altars. And people often considered her like the everyday person's goddess to petition for health and wellness. And there's Vulcanus, a trans-Neptunian that's in here. And he's not that close, but he's kind of lingering in the energy field of this. So sudden breakthroughs or explosive changes in what mental, emotional, and physical well-being are possible with that combination. Just possibly, not necessarily. Let me just check in the United States then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, this is happening. This moon is lighting its fullness in the foreign lands house of the United States natal chart. So maybe some breakthroughs from foreign lands that give blessings to the health and wellness of citizens of the United States. I don't know. Now the Biden administration has been inaugurated, this is the inauguration day I'm recording this, maybe there's going to be some real positive developments in diplomacy. Or breakthroughs with other nations that weren't possible or expected with the Biden administration, the Trump administration, which maybe have been creating some hostility, undue hostilities. We shall see. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lucky development or fortuitous development with the United States relationship to other nations during the next month after this particular full moon. Righty. And also don't forget, a full moon is always, we always want to bind it back to the new moon, which was in August. And so if we're looking at a US chart, I'd be saying what was going on diplomatically or in regards to foreign nations with the United States during the month of August and July. August and September, mid-August to mid-September, that may have been seeded that can come to fruition now and look like a positive development thanks Jupiter up here. Now, Jupiter and Sun are co-joined with the asteroid Lilith. I didn't draw her in here, not the black moon, but the asteroid. Lilith is associated with divided loyalties and suppressed rage. Well, if we haven't seen enough of that in the collective field lately, especially within the US, I don't know what else to say. But Jupiter is bringing blessings and he's whispering into the heart. He's in the heart of the sun getting divine instruction, basically. So divine instructions to help heal divided loyalties, suppressed rage, that kind of thing could be very much what's going to be outpicturing as a result of this very fortunate, courageous, beautiful, full moon. And I say courageous because we got the Leo courage in that, the core, the heart that Leo is about. Moon in the mundane astrology can be the people or the masses, the healing of the masses, the wellness of the masses, the heart of the masses, and some goodness happening from the suppressed rage and divided loyalties that Lilith is engaging with. That Jupiter, Santa Claus of the zodiac, guru of the zodiac, and the sun, the soul of the nation, but the soul of all of us, really, the soul of reality. The solar light of the solar system, by which we are actually here, or we wouldn't be, right, without that sun. Anything else I want to say about that? No, I really want to focus on the goodness primarily, but I can't pretend to say that you can't, just ignore that Uranus and Mars are still acting as a dynamic duo at the time of this moon. We saw the precise conjunction on the day of the inauguration. And I am recording this in the middle of the day, like nothing bad has happened in the collective at the time of this recording, in terms of explosive or unexpected harm or violence. But, that's still in play until at least the day after the inauguration, throughout the day of the inauguration. So I'm recording without, knowledge of what the big picture is. But that T-square is still active in the sky, or it is active. It's created in the sky by the moon, the full moon opposing the sun. And so it kind of incites, like the moon is squaring, this spot in the sky that the moon heated up around the inauguration itself. The moon was coming into conjunction with this combination of planets on the day of the inauguration. And this is going to be the moon's first quarter, all right, away from that first quarter square. So this is like a first quarter moon to that inauguration combustion or tinderbox or powder keg, whatever you want to call that explosive energy of Mars, the god of fire, heat, and soldiering and war and all that. A little bit weakened in Taurus, sure. And then Uranus, of course, this could be earthquakes too. So anyway, the first quarter square will reactivate things that were going on inauguration day. But I'm also hopeful that the Jupiter piece plays out as a longer term blessing of some kind, bringing some kind of goodness. And there's common sense strategic Athena hanging out there with Mercury at the same time in this kind of stellium. So, Athena brings strategy and wisdom and knowledge to bear. Mercury has a similar sensibility in Aquarius, where he's in his modern exaltation sign. So cooler heads, wiser heads, strategic heads prevail. Maybe it could be what this could be interpreted as, no matter what this square from the moon trigger point to Uranus and Mars creates. Now, I want to point something out, Mercury will be going retrograde just right after this moon. He'll go retrograde on the 29th. He'll station to go retrograde. And for 3 weeks, he'll be going backwards in the sky. On the 30th, 2 days after. And he'll be going backwards in the sky for 3 weeks in the sign of Aquarius, right? Treading back over this stellium. Now, I did listen to an astrologer recently. I think it was the Oxford astrologer talking about the possibility of the rollout of vaccines being rolled back instead of rolled out. That's an interesting thought because, experimental science and mad scientist is Aquarius. And that retrograde Mercury 2 days after this moon, with the goddess of hygiene and health involved retrograding herself. Retrograde, right? She's retrograde. Could there be a rollback of the vaccine delivery system, maybe because of unexpected side effects, which we're seeing some of, or something else? To be determined, but just planting that seed. But with Jupiter's participation, I'm thinking this is more all good than less good. Okay. Anything else I want to say? Let me just sink the chart into my psyche for a sec, guys. I am liking the trine from the nose to Hygeia. There's, energetic, not very precise, but there's energetic power coming from the south node and a sextile from the north node that could be also saying a positive change in sort of the destiny direction, because that south node is on the US, first house. So, a turning point, a sea change in the identity of the US, right now, especially during a pandemic with the goddess of health and hygiene. Hygiene is mass. Hello, maybe Biden's mask mandate will actually turn the tide of the pandemic in the United States. I'm just saying, hygiene, let's wash our hands and wear the mask. And then Biden comes into power with Harris and says, let's wear a mask. And then the nodes support that, in a broad trine to Hygeia, okay, who's going back over old ground in her retrograde as well. So that's a way of interpreting that too. Anything else I want to say? Well, this is Jupiter coming out of the heart of the sun over 2 weeks, right? And I just want to remind everybody, I can't state it enough. Don't expect all the good luck to fall on the day of the moon. Really let this unfold over a couple of weeks into mid or third week of February, when, depending on where you live in the world, Jupiter gets visible again, and we can see him when the sun is about 15 degrees at least beyond Jupiter. So be patient for the goodness to unfold and in your own life, all signs, and for the collective. Okay, so in other words, you're turning the tide of a pandemic and a mask mandate comes into effect. You're not going to see necessarily the tide turn instantly, are you? A national mask mandate. You'll have to wait 2 to 3 weeks out for the tide to turn in the epidemiological way that viruses spread and now curb the spread. So anyway, just a thought. Okay, so let's go for the all signs. Now you can see that this is set for me in Vancouver, Canada. I keep reminding people, let's do it this way for your own life. Wherever you live, set the time of the perfected, if you have this kind of software, 9 degrees in 5 minutes, 9 degrees in 5 minutes is going to be 11:15 a.m. in Vancouver, Canada. Adjust for your time zone and location. For me, I'm getting this moon happening in Aquarius, right? Like locally, it's happening in the 10th house. In my natal chart, the sun is in my first house and the moon is shining the full moonlight in my 7th house of romantic love, long-term committed love, business partners and allies, etc. I'm thinking of getting my co-host for my podcast. I'll seal the deal during this, after this moon. Lovely guy. I'm really excited to share my new podcast with you guys. And so astrology, of course. And so one of the things to say is I've got the understanding of this moon as it applies to my natal chart, but also to my location at the time of the moon. So now I experience this moon giving me a Taurus rising gift, and that's my natal 4th house. So blessings and new beginnings and luck and opportunity, but where I live, right? So I get that rising, I get the 10th house stellium. Wow. Does it promise me that because I'm in Vancouver at the time that I'm going to have a lot of kick-ass energy in my career? Right? And my first house is an Aquarian. So it's my first house overlapping a 10th house energy. So always look at where you live as well as your natal chart if you can. Okay, it just really helps. All right, let's do the all signs. So to do that, I'm going to start with, of course, I always start with the same sign, right? I always start with Aries. You guys get to go first. Before I do that, yes, I am screen sharing. I had a moment. I'm like, oh my God. Am I sharing? No, I'm sharing. Welcome to my frazzled brain. That sound has been outside my window for 6 hours. I'm like, guys, I'm losing it. All right. So here we go. Here we are. Doom, the whole thing. This big picture window. Okay, let's go back and start with Aries, and I'll give you the highlights for you guys. So Aries, sun, moon, and ascendant. Please all look at your rising sign first, then sun and moon if born at night or day, sun, day, moon, night. Okay. Aries, Aries ascendant. This is an exciting one for you guys because this conjunction, this opposition, I mean, of the sun and moon in conjunction of Jupiter and the sun, it blesses you in a couple of ways. One, certainly the luck is showing up in your house of clubs and belonging. Okay. This is the 11th house of where you find your community outside of the forced communities that we get, you know, because we live in the neighborhood or whatever. This is community and belonging and tribe of choice. I'm just new to the app Clubhouse and I'm loving it. And I'm an Aries stellium, sun, moon, and Mercury. And so I'm hoping that blesses my forays into Clubhouse. I'm really having fun there in the beta testing crew there. But I would say for a lot of you Aries, look for blessings in these areas here. Great gains from your career, your hopes, dreams, and wishes coming true, karmic rewards, some kind of maybe even windfalls can happen up here. This is also the house of, yes, belonging, new groups of community and belonging that really bring you great luck. Yes, be patient for Jupiter to come out from the beams of the sun. So some of the greatest blessings are most visible by the middle of February, but you should have a sense of the luck being in that zone of the chart. And the house of good spirit, the 11th house, is already a lucky house. So Aries, sun, moon, and ascendant, yay for you. And then the full moon light shines in the 5th house of your children, your love affairs, and your inspiration and the muse. So lots of fullness there. Good news for your children. Your children have lucky breaks. Things are shining light and bright for them. And their health is healing. I mean, their physical wellness could be healing as well because of Hygeia's presence on that moon. And also, if you're looking for romance and you're looking for that spark to ignite, this full moon could bring a very lucky new romance to unfold in the days after, especially in the 28 days after. Also, maybe go back to August and see who are you corresponding with? Were you on a flirtation with someone interested in you in mid-August and mid-September? If so, that could come back to life, resparking, rekindling some romantic flame. If you're doing anything creative and artistic, the muse and inspiration are here, and that will get a super lucky blessing and inspired, lucky new directions in your muse directions, in your artistic inclinations, in your joy of life, joie de vivre. Taurus, sun, moon, and ascendant. As you can see, you are getting this lucky break energy coming into the career house. And for Taurus, sun, moon, and ascendants, you can expect an unfurling of some sort of career success, promotions, rewards, awards, pay raises, you know, all of that good stuff that can happen in the career zone of your chart. And interestingly too, don't forget, don't think, oh, nothing happened on the day of the moon. She's wrong. Give it a good old Jupiter time to show his visibility. Behind the scenes, your boss might be saying, we've got to, you know, up level that person or give them more money or give them a promotion, or in your own business, you might be, an opportunity might be emerging for you to rise to greater success. And you don't really see the fullness of it at all. You don't even know it's in the background yet, but it will show its light to you by February to the end of February. So just, you know, trust me on that one. And the light of the moon is in the house of your home. So some of you Taurians could be looking for expanding your home, decorating your home, beautifying your home, selling your home, moving your home, full light moon energy in the house of home, just, you know, goodness in the home, healing in the home, Hygeia. With Volcanus there, explosive sudden change of home, but that would be very good and positive and lucky. Okay, it won't feel like a hardship at all. This is the house of your mother. Your mother could have a stroke of luck. So if you're a Taurus sun, moon, or ascendant, the 4th house is a house of mom. Well, then your mom's going to get some collateral luck off of your chart. Now my daughter's a Taurus sun, so I hope that's true. Anything else? No, that's about it. I really want to keep this short and sweet. I think that's all I want to say. Well, I would remind you, I should have said this for Aries, you know, there is that square energy from the 1st house with the, you know, combustible powder keg. So your identity could be, up for some kind of a radical reinvention that you already tapped into, you know, around January the 20th, and then around now the 28th, you're kind of looking at it again going, well, should I really cut my hair short or dye my hair purple or change my wardrobe or get that makeover or something like that? I feel bad that I didn't talk about it for Aries, but I'm not going to go back. They'll have to deal. No, I hit the wrong button. Bear with me. Okay, we got to move back in time. We're not that far ahead yet. Oh, guys, I gotta like that sound blaring in my ear today. It's just like nuts. Okay, let's see. We're moving to Gemini. Okay, I'm going to pause for a second and grab some water. So I'll be right back. So I'll stop the share. Oh my God, every time I say stop the share, I think of stop the steal. And I'll get my water. I'll be right back. All right, blessed H2O. I am back to you. We were going to hit the Gemini corridor here. So Gemini, this is for you guys. You're going to experience this energy really strongly happening in your 9th house, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and especially Ascendant. This is foreign lands. This could be knowledge and wisdom, going back to university or college or higher education, pilgrimages, God, soul, truth, wisdom. Did I say religion? A lot of stuff happens. Sometimes book publishing is up here. Now, what I say to you guys is that this is a house of God. This is a house of soul. This is a spiritual house, a Dharma house. And the sun is in its joy in that house in ancient Hellenistic tradition. And so you've got the sun in its joy as it creates this full moon light in your 3rd, and the sun in its joy with lucky Jupiter co-joined. So lucky breaks Gemini regarding the educational themes, the foreign lands, the international, and the mystical and the Dharma. Dharma meaning one's true purpose or calling. So those are doors that are opening up for you now, and look for that to happen over the next few weeks as Jupiter becomes visible from under the beams of the sun, or in this case, Cazimi, the sun, and also reminding you that the light is shining in your 3rd house of your local neighborhood, your siblings. The lunar light is shining in the house of your this is your local hood, as you know, my pub, my local library and all of that. But this is also the house of your self-expression. If some of you Geminis want to pen something, writing is a 3rd house thing. It can be the house of teaching as well, or learning. So you may want to learn a new skill. We don't learn in the 3rd house, we learn skills. We don't really learn we don't take our doctorate in philosophy, which is not a skill, right? So we learn skills and applied trades and things like that. So you may want to learn something, and the full moon would bless that learning. But I say local luck, local blessings, local goodness, right, is coming for you as a result of this new energy, this full moon energy in your 3rd house. That square to the Uranus powder keg with Mars, well, that peaked, of course, on Inauguration Day on January 20th in the United States. And for everyone, it peaked. This is at nights, your dreams at night, your reverie, your past lives. It's very subtle. This energy is in a, you may have disturbed sleeps, powerful dreams as the moon squares that energy that kicked off on January 20th. Or you might have breakthrough insights if you're meditating. It can be the house of, self-undoing. So be careful not to accidentally undo yourself. Accidents can happen with Mars and Uranus. Don't do something that's self-sabotaging. But on the other hand, you could have a breakthrough dream or a breakthrough insight in a meditation that's thrilling and exciting and exhilarating and brings more, goodness to your 9th and 3rd house energies. And, really helps you with your right livelihood, because of course the energies are opposite the house of, work and work direction. So yeah, some of that too. Okay, moving on. Cancer, use Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Ascendants. This is going to constellate in your money house. That's where the luck is showing up. This is inheritances, spousal money. This is the energy of bank loans, tax rebates, licensing fees, membership clubs, money you don't get by a paycheck or salary or just hustle, And this money zone is really been given this beautiful Cazimi blessing that will unfold more towards the middle of February. So expect your money story to improve pretty significantly. Investments are 8th house as well, especially at stock market, etc. And then, of course, we have this energy shining a full moon light in the work house, the money you get from the work as well, salary and paycheck. And this is your self-worth and self-possession that allows you to receive the goodies of being fully that Cancer ascendant. These are kind of often like food, shelter, and survival energies for that kind of 2nd house vibe, but it's bounty and prosperity and your cash flow. So, or your resourcefulness. So Yeah, it's all about the monies for you, a Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Some good news in the money story. The square, the powder keg kinetic energy here of Mars and Uranus in the 11th could be sudden financial breakthroughs through allies and friends and groups you belong to, because that's what this part of the chart is, the 11th house, or just great gains from your career, which is the 11th house anyway. It brings the ka-ching golden gains from our 10th house, and it shows up as monetary and financial success, and also sometimes awards and rewards. Like the Academy Awards is where the 11th house would be in my view. So, getting accolades and really good reviews, for instance, from communities that are in touch with you in some way around your career, and all this monetary flow that's coming for you. So Cancer rising, Sun and Moon, especially rising, get ready for that. How exciting for you. Okay, let's keep going. Leo, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is going to activate that house of significant others and audience and clients, your husband, your wife, your business partner, your friend that's been like a wife or a husband. You've had the forever friendships can be 7th house. Your audience, if you aspire to have one, if you're audience oriented in your work. So some of you, Leo, Sun, Moon, I just saw the Leo King, the astrologer guy, going to have a good month for his audience. So anyway, for any of you Leos who are married or in a long-term committed love story, this is going to bless that union with that Kazemi in that part of the chart. Your partner could have really good luck over the next few weeks as Jupiter begins to move from the heart of the sun. As well, the light is shining, a full moon glorification on you, your health, your well-being, emotional and physical, and the moon with that goddess, improving your physical health, your vitality, your sense of you, your sense of self, your identity has this beautiful full moon light shining there. So it's going to feel like you're coming into a time in which your Leo radiant self energy can really shine more brightly, and you start to feel more vital again, maybe, and feeling like you've got a handle on your mental and emotional and physical wellness as well, and maybe a sudden breakthrough with Volcanus so close at hand. So the square is happening in your career house. So, you may change your job. You may quit your job. You may just bust out of an old path. You may decide that there's could be some breaking down and breaking through up here in the 10th house. If you didn't like something about your work, you might just find you just leave, or they leave you, but that's going to be good, not to worry. And on the other hand, if you do like the career, the work, and the work environment that you're in, then yay, that could really also be an uplift. A square can bring, through grit and tension, breakthroughs. So, and this is a square from the moon, a square from the sun, and that's a T-square. You might find that the resolution energy to really fortify this is coming from the home base where you live, your home, your nest. So, break through the career thing, but where does the nest fit in? Do you want to work more from home? Do you want to ditch the whole idea of an office forever? Maybe some of you, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Ascendants. Do you want to start a business from home that's on the internet? I'd say go for it, because this is the god of the internet, Uranus. And how about making that an online career instead? Okay, moving forward. Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. You're going to have the blessings of that Jupiter in the heart of the sun in the sign at the house of your work. This is where you work, hard. She works hard for her money, or she doubles down. It's the place of the routines for work, the structures, the way we do our work. And it's also our structures for physical health, because it's a house of sickness. We often find protocols for wellness by having planets pile up in here. Now that stellium is in there all through February, this Aquarian mashup. So, you're really looking at structures of focus and work discipline, especially with Saturn there, and health discipline as well. So a lot of you Virgo rising, sun and moons, we're going to be very busy, very, very busy after this full moon, but you're also going to be looking at really effective ways to be strategic, especially with Athena, with your energy, with your work style, with your discipline for work, and your discipline for regular health protocols, whether it's what you eat or what you do for exercise, it doesn't matter. And that's going to be a new strength for you and a new area of blessing. Now, when I mean work protocols, like my daughter's a Virgo rising, and she just asked me if I would pay for something called PDF Expert, so she could, somehow take the lectures she's listening to for her professors and convert them to PDFs instantly or something like that. And I said, of course you can. And that's so exactly what this kind of energy can be, like to minimize the output, to make your work easier. Don't work smarter, not harder, could be the mantra for you Virgo risings from this full moon and into the month that follows, right? So in February, work smarter, not harder. You're going to be very busy, no doubt about it. What else? The full moon light is blessing you across the way in the house of past lives, and also in the house of your dreams at night, your reverie and meditations and hidden enemies. But it's a blessing, so don't worry about those hidden enemies. In self-undoing. With Goddess Hygeia, health and healing here, a lot of you Virgos are going to find a new way to take care of your well-being and undo your self-undoing. So letting go of addictions or habits and patterns that don't serve you during the month that follows the moon. And I think that this moon could also liberate you. This full moon was blessed with this Cazimi luck energy from the sun. Jupiter, Sun, Cazimi, blessing this moon, shining this light into the 12th house. Some karmic blessing could come through on this axis. Some karmic rewards could be coming to you. Now, when it comes to the health piece too, you know, some of your past life some of your health challenges for you Virgo ascendants may have come from other lifetimes, you know, and like my daughter went through a horrible time with skin issues and now it's all seeming to come to healing. But if you've been having some health challenges in the last while, then this could be a turning point where there's a kind of a karmic turning point of let's bring Jupiter's luck and bounty to bear on the karmic knot over here. Just a possible story. 12th house is internet revenues, really, because it's revenues and barter and money we make from abroad, from foreign lands. And now that the internet's here for most of us with PayPal or Stripe and stuff, our money comes from abroad, right? I just had a client the other day from Europe and stuff. And, you know, if you do online work at all, any of you Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Ascendants, your online revenue could find some blessings coming through the 12th house as well. Let's keep going. Libra, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, especially rising sign. This is going to be a blessing in the romance house. Something's heating up down here. Now, that's also your inspiration, like your muse that tells you, oh my God, I got a great idea for a book. I got a great idea for a project. This is your independent business. If you have you're, you know, self-employed, this is, you know, a powerhouse in your house of independent business enterprise. So a lot of you Libras are really going to take off in your independent business enterprise, in your inspiration, in your joy, play, pleasure house. Yes, Saturn is there. So joy, play, pleasure, and moderation with practical restraint, but nonetheless, a pickup in the joy factor. And Jupiter's blessings in the heart of the sun. Wow, Jupiter can represent spousal energy, marriage energy. And here he is in the heart of the sun, in the house of romantic love affairs. Is there somebody coming new to your life to spark the fires of romance? For some of you, Libra, Sun, Moon, and Ascendants, I would bet my bottom dollar on it, if you're single, that is. This is a house of your children. Some of you Libras will have experiences of your children being blessed during the month after this full moon. So lucky blessings for your kids, okay? And feeling like your kids have got everything going on, and or they get derivative blessings, collateral blessings from this in your 5th house of children. If you want to have children and you wanted to get pregnant and you've been thinking about it, blessed pregnancies, blessed outcomes, blessed childbirth, anything to do with that is all got super duper blessings. And as, again, Jupiter displays his blessings more visibly past the mid-February point. Continuing on. Let's move. Oh, no. Let me also say, of course, the full moon light is shining, Libra. Sorry, I was going to cut you off in your 11th house of Clubhouse. Okay, I'm in an 11th house perfection age. And the 11th house is the house of belonging, the house of groups of belonging. And to me, it's the house, I call it the Clubhouse house now because I'm loving the app. So any Libras, because I'm thinking of my girlfriend, Renee, who's a Libra sun, and I got her in Clubhouse. Any Libras who are doing any kind of you're going to benefit from belonging to new groups. Okay. Blessed new groups of belonging. And, you know, there's arguments amongst astrologers that do social media platforms belong in the 3rd or the 11th. I think the community that we create is an 11th house thing, and the platforms themselves is the 3rd house. So, if, you know, I would put Facebook and all of that down here, but the kind of formation of collective communities, you know, What is the Facebook community groups? That's probably your 11th house. What is the clubhouses and groups within Clubhouse? That's the 11th house. So anyway, Libras, you're going to benefit from 11th house affiliations, friends as allies and benefactors, and great financial gain from your career. The tension angle, of course, from that combustible powder keg tinderbox of Uranus and the Mars is a money place. This is money that you make through other people, business partnerships, alliances, bank loans, leveraging things, investments that pay off, all of that. So you're going to get some good money energy, but also because it's a square, at first it could be looking gritty, could look like, oh no, what's going on in my bank account, my 401k, or my Bitcoin. Bitcoin's still going up, so who knows? But that is an energy where the 8th house really gets strongly activated. So there's some money story going on here, but you can kind of not to worry so much about this part and like look at your 2nd house as a kind of as an antidote to the tension here. The money you bring in through your own efforts right now can soothe any concerns with 8th house money, house of inheritance and spousal money. If your spouse is having problems with his finances or her finances, or the inheritance has a glitch, just rest easy. Ultimately, Jupiter Sun is trying to resolve that and focus more on the 2nd house flow of money, your earnings. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Always, especially ascendant or rising. This is happening in the house of home. Good news on the home front. Look at that. This stellium is blessing where you live. Will you move? Will you expand your property? Will you renovate it? Will you find a better place to live? Will you sell your home and like ka-ching, make a lot of money? This is all very possible in the unfoldment of the 28 days after the full moon of the 28th. So look for those blessings, especially mid-February. A lot of you Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Ascendants also can look at this as blessings in your area of your career, where the full moon light shines in the Leo sign, healing and wholeness and volcanic energy in the career zone. If you felt like beleaguered in the place of employment or where you work or the direction your career has taken, this could shine an energy of new beginnings. And, even though it's a full moon and it's a fruition. So go back to August the 18th. All right, Scorpios, and to September 18th, what was happening in your career zone, because now this full moon is a culminating energy. So it's culminating energy is still available for change, like a new moon, but it really is about, it's finally here. It's the ultimate climactic outcome of a series of energies that were seeded back in August, September. The tension is coming into your marriage or your clients or your customers or your audience. There's like the tinder box there. However, that's not always a bad thing, because if you need to disrupt the way the relationship has been going with that quarter moon activation, go back to January 20th-ish and go, what was going on in my primary marriage or business partner relationship or with my clients or my audience? And now what explosive energy from the middle of January 20th is now having a retrigger with this moon. But I also say, go back to yourself. The antidote is to focus on you. Don't get caught up in your partner's drama, is one way of saying it, or your business partner's drama. Go back and anchor in you, and that will help diffuse that temporary glitch. All said and done, Jupiter's bringing blessings to everything he touches, and that will involve good news in the marriage, business partnership, and client customer zone as well. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant, you're going to experience this energy. Oh no, I just had that thought. Did I stop the recording and restart the recording? I do this every time. So hang in there. I'm going to go check. Oh, I'm still recording. Yeah, guys, it's so funny. I do this every time. All right. So Sagittarius is Sun, Moon, and Ascendant, especially rising sign. This is going to be a constellation of energy that's pretty dominant in your 3rd house, right? Where this full moon is happening. So your 3rd house is siblings. The 3rd house is the house of your local neighborhood, your local friendships, friends that are like sisters and brothers. This is self-expression, writing, can be speaking, learning, if you want to learn something new, especially with Jupiter here. This could open the door for some of you Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Ascendants, because he's the teacher, right? Jupiter's the guide, the guru, the teacher. You could end up learning something. A new teacher could come to you, a new guide, or a new course of study that is going to have very fortunate results for you in the long term with this cazimi. So looking for this new beginning that you could have in an area of instruction and learning. If you use social media, the social media platforms are all down here in the third house. So good luck for you guys, Sagittarius, with social media endeavors over the course of the month after this moon. Now, the good news is the full moon is in the ninth house, where you're going to experience blessings in international and foreign lands. That can even mean international reach with whatever you're doing, trips to foreign lands, pilgrimages, God, truth, soul, wisdom. If you're writing a book, this could be good news for a breakthrough, publishing books, etc. Now, also, Hygeia and Volcanus are up here. A sudden trip to a foreign land that you hear about that you're going to take, courtesy of Jupiter's Sun in the house of trips and travel, and the moon in the house of foreign lands. I don't know, healing energy. So with Hygeia here, if you've been stuck with it, unable to travel because of COVID, like all of us, and suddenly something breaks through here, or you've been stuck trying to get some kind of clearance to travel, it's possible that even though we're still in the thick of that pandemic, you Sagittarians can experience some breakthrough luck there. Like visas belong in the ninth house as well as court cases. So breakthroughs in your court cases, if you're doing legal things and you're trying to get a visa, or if you're in a court situation and you have to appear in court, you're going to have some good luck in that as well. All right. Anything else? Well, yeah, that tension energy is coming from your sixth house of work and health protocols, work routines, daily routines, health routines. So, you may be called to redo your health routines and think of something new and stop undoing yourself. Energies of the 12th house are kind of a refuge for that. So going into deep meditation, paying attention to your dreams, and undoing your own self-undoing in work and health routines could be a blessing from this moon. All right, this is the Capricorn story. It's all about the money, honey. You guys are really kicking ass. And look at that. Even Venus has got her boss babe going in Capricorn. She's really got her shoulder pads on. So she's supporting some revolutionary new energy anyway in your identity right now. She is the goddess of money, co-joined with the god of power, and the two of them together are like a wealth yoga in your identity house. But over here, you can see this Aquarius energy is saying, let's look at your money flow, Capricorn, sun, moon, and ascendant. Where do you need to change that? What luck do you need in the money? Money luck. Oh yeah, for sure. Look at Jupiter and the sun. Some of you Capricorns are going to have some really good financial breakthrough energy, maybe right around the 28th, but really fully fruitioning, like where you can see it more clearly as Jupiter gets out of the invisible zone in the middle of February. So if you want a lottery ticket, maybe there's a bunch of red tape that you have to go through to claim the money. It takes a couple of weeks and then you get the money in your bank account. So that could be like very literal for Capricorns. Right. And then, of course, the full moon, the full moon is in your eighth house, and there's healing of your eighth house monies. That's your 401k, your assets, your retirement plans, your investment monies. If you've bombed the investment stories and really sucked ass with that, then this could be some healing of that. And, money that doesn't belong to you, partner's money. Like if you invested with a partner or played a lottery ticket with a partner and ran the gamut with their luck, then you could be cashing in there as well. Spouse's money as well could be very beneficial for you as a result of this moon. So I'm laughing because a Capricorn friend of mine and I played a ticket together, and so he would ride my luck and we would cash in together. So we'll see if that's true. I'll let you guys know. I've been hinting at this Capricorn dude and me with our lottery ticket for a while, and the draw is on the 27th of January. Wish me luck. All right. So anyway, but some Capricorns will have breakthroughs in their finances for sure. And it looks like a lot of luck, money luck here. And don't forget, even though the moon is on the 28th, this is the 29th because I'm progressing it right to show the risings, but the moon is on the 28th. And a lottery draw on the 27th is with an orb of influence. So some of you Capricorns who are thinking about buying lottery tickets, buy them like anywhere, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, it's all in the orb of that lucky break. All right. And the tension energy is in the house of romantic love. Your romantic love might be frictioned out lately. The sexual energy might be off key. This is your children. Are they struggling with issues? Because it's like gritty there, tinderbox. Have you been wanting to help your children? Because this money luck can help your children. And you can really anchor in the 11th house to really benefit the whole story by remembering you have allies and friends that want to help you, Capricorn. You're sometimes a solo goat on the mountaintop. Just trust your friends and your people who want to support you, and community support, in your life, especially when it comes to tension with your kids, and get your friends to help you if you have problems with your children or your romantic love affairs. Could be having a little bit of grit, or if you're with somebody, the sexual energy might be really flagging. And on the other hand, there could be a breakthrough in the romance, breakthrough in the sexual energy, a thrilling breakthrough at that. This is kind of the thrill seeker energy, that Mars with the Uranian energy. All right, take a ride on the wild side in your sex life. All right, here we are. This is the me zone. I'm Aquarius rising. So we Aquarius rising, sun and moon and ascendants are actually experience this stellium or assembly of planets in the February zone, all in our first house. It's real overwhelming for some of us Aquarians because I don't think there's been a stellium in Aquarius like this since 1962. So I was born in 62. So there's a lot of energy for Aquarius is coming into the story of us. And it's you be you, we be we, me be me. It's all about, fully identifying with the avatar of the Aquarian ascendant and sun and moon. So there's that. Now the luck is in the house of our body, our health, our identity. So we're going to have vitality and the greater vitality with Jupiter coming into out of the beams of the sun in middle of February is where we've been to really feel the spark of that vitality. But also we can gain weight. And believe me, I am gaining weight since Jupiter entered into December 21st into Aquarius. I don't care. I'm eating a lot of pasta. I love it. But I don't even care. I'm like, I'd rather be chubby and happy right now. And I'm never going to be chubby. I'm a Scottish princess full of Scottish skinny people. But the gist of it is, we could expand our girth, but we can expand our vitality as well. Aquarius, sun, moon, and ascendants. And with this, this Kazemi energy here, don't forget Lilith, divided loyalties and repressed rage. That's all being healed in our identity field right now too. If we've taken sides and it's caused hardship in our life in certain situations, which I have, I guess we'll just stop taking sides and we'll play Switzerland for a while. What else can I say? Well, certainly we get a stimulation in the house of monogamous committed marriage and love, as well as business partnerships. Now, I'm hoping for me that's business partnership stuff because I'm really gearing to get a podcast going with a lovely male astrologer that I've encountered on Clubhouse, and forming business alliances and partnerships, reaching new audiences. This is the house of audience and clients with a full moon light for us Aquariuses. I'm an online girl. I can reach new audiences now. I think it's my engagement with Clubhouse, but we shall see, especially given that the Clubhouse of the Zodiac has Juno on the South Node, soulmates as partners. Anyway, in business. Anyway, so, well, in love too, actually. But anyway, so the moonlight is shining brightly for you, Aquarian, sun, moon, and ascendants in the house of your marriage partnership. If you're single, it could bring someone new in. If it does, you may have also had a tickle of knowing who this person was at the new moon in August, September. August 18th had, 28 days. And now if something's coming to a fullness or fruition. So yeah, it may not be a new person. If you're with someone, it just means there's lunar blessings in the house of your primary relationship. The square to that tinderbox powder keg down here, the T-square, it's fourth house. You're going to change where you live. A lot of you ascendant Aquarian sun moons will end up changing where you live as a result of this bolt of luck here in your identity house, and it will send some energy to fourth house. You may not move right away, of course, especially waiting for Jupiter to get it visible in the second to third week of February. If you don't move, there's good news coming from home base. It's like, or there's friction and exciting, exhilarating, inventive, eureka energy down here in your fourth house of where you're living that could spill out into your 10th house of career. And the more you focus on that scorpionic 10th house right now, the better you'll be. And, Mars is totally fortified to help you out there in the fall when he goes into Scorpio. So it's a good year so hiccups. You Aquariuses are going to have great career blessings in the fall of 2021. Get my all signs bundle if you want to know more. It'll go into greater detail about that for Aquarius rising, sun and moon. But in the meantime, I'd say look for just a great goodness in your identity and expression of your Aquarian, humanitarian, we the people, inventive, geeky scientist side of your identity as this blessing of the Cazimi happens in your sign, in your rising sign or your sun or moon. Next, always last but never least are the Pisces of the world. This is a very subtle energy, guys. This is in your 12th house. You know, it's going to be like your dreams at night could be mind blowing over the course of that day of the Cazimi and onward. This is your inner guru. Pay attention to your inner guides, your shamans, your celestial forces that are guiding you, your dreams at night. If you want a spiritual teacher, Jupiter in the heart of the sun could bring you a coach, a guide, or a spiritual person into your life to support you. As well, some of you Pisces, sun, moon, and ascendants could start to receive more money, more barter, trade, and revenue from foreign lands. If you have an online business, it's going to take off financially for you, probably as mid-February and Jupiter gets out from underneath the sun, and you begin to see the blessings that are cooking backstage right now for your finances from foreign lands. You're also going to see the full moon in the house of work and health protocols, more vitality in your health protocols, the way you tend to your physical wellness, as well as the work routines, bringing great goodness there. Big, bold, courageous Leo light, carrying some of that Jupiter blessings into the house of your work. So work gets good, money gets good as well for you. Money from foreign lands, work gets good. The work environment, if you work in an office still, who does? But you know, if you have colleagues at work, better blessings with your collegiate relationships and people in the workplace. The gritty energy of the T-square is in the house of siblings and short-term trips and travel and courses and learning and self-expression and writing. Now, to be really literal, it is a house of siblings. So you might have some breakthrough with a sibling, breakdown to breakthrough, or some kind of gritty tension. I mean, Mars can bring a combative energy, a sudden upset with a sibling, a sudden disagreement, but it can also be exciting. This is a house of social media. Are you going to work with a sibling? I'm laughing because my sister's a Pisces rising, and we talked today about a new show we're going to do once a week on my YouTube channel. So yeah, Uranus is the internet. The third house is social media. Mars is action, and she's going to do a new show with me. So it doesn't always have to be a negative in your house of siblings, you Pisces, sun, moon, and rising. Now, the other thing it could be would be the idea of trips and travel, a sudden, unexpected ability to take a trip somewhere. Obviously, probably not international given COVID, but you know, if you do get the opportunity to travel from the full moon through to the end of February, it would be a very blessed trip. Probably unexpected though. You wouldn't be expecting to take it, but when you do, it turns out to have some potency for sure. And you can definitely improve your health a lot, you Pisces, sun, moon, and ascendants, because Hygeia, health and healing and hygiene with the moon and Volcanus, sudden new ways to improve your health in the house of sickness will become available to you. And with Hygeia retrograde, it might have been a health protocol you've tried before, but you're going to go back and redo it again because now it works. Now you think, oh yeah, I'm going to really do that Tai Chi that I learned and I never practiced, or that yoga class or that yoga protocol or something like that. Okay, that's it. I'm done. Finally, the jackhammering or whatever that was, drilling has stopped next door. Guys, I could have killed myself this morning. It was ongoing all day. Not to have hyperbole. All right, and my hair. So big, so big. So out of control here in Vancouver, where the water is a different quality. I guess it's hard mountain water. And I just can't keep it under control. So this is my Leo look for you. I look like a mad woman. Please go and like and subscribe and share. Please check out all the offers below, the sale readings that are ongoing. I have a couple. The Surf the Eclipse Change Wave is a great reading for only $125 or $35, and it's live with me on Zoom. You can't break that deal. Patreon community is growing. I'm down up to 20, 21 people, but it's small, it's intimate. We have a weekly Zoom call every Tuesday, Astro Tarot Tuesdays, and at the lowest tier, you get that benefit, as well as early access to all my YouTube videos and huge discounts in all of my readings and my classes that I teach. So come check out my Patreon, Lunatic Astrology. The link's in the description box below. Love you guys. Thanks. Mwah.